So I would like to talk about Imperial County, California, and some of the issues that they're dealing with and having to address. Um, the optics of the county are a challenge. It's an it's. I feel bad that I criticize and bring to light into attention certain issues that are going on in Imperial County. But at the same time, I don't want to, dismiss the county or its population of the different things they're doing, the different projects they're engaged in. It's everyday life's going on there, just like everywhere else. People are, um, pursuing their jobs, pursuing their lives. The majority who are raising their families are busy. Uh, those who are up and coming, trying to find something to make their lives work. They're busy, or if they have that free time, since they're not having families, like they can take a look around and realize, well, there's these things that are not right, things that could be different and better. And this recent report of basically two bad grade F hospitals, and essentially 20 miles, 15 miles apart in Imperial Valley, Imperial County. Um, it's discouraging, and but at the same time, I don't want. Um, there's an organization. There's a couple organizations for Imperial County that their sole purpose is to find business investment, business interests, to come and open up jobs, open up manufacturing, production, offices of some sort in Imperial County, and take advantage of the agriculture that's there, take advantage of the maquiladoras, production facilities in Mexico, right across the border. Um, Mexicali, Mexico, is a while it has its drawbacks, like they can improve their sort of mass, transportation system, but otherwise, it's wonderful place, good people, good businesses. They're really addressing corruption and other issues. That's why you almost never hear about Mexicali in the news. In terms of the violence that you hear about other parts of the border, and um, the it should not, the negative press, negative sort of headlines that get passed around, or whenever you do a search and the worst things pop up, because that's the most things that people click on. Yeah, that can be discouraging, and I don't want people to focus on those things. It's because where there's a problem, well, that's what a politician is supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be addressing. It's supposed to be spending time, resources, to address and work towards, fixing the problem. Um, the In terms of everything else, but the problem with that though is then, like, so what about the programs that help children, help the underserved, the underprivileged, the people struggling, the people who have whatever challenges sort of holding them back, and that's where the community would come in. There's an issue of the economics of Imperial County. People spend their money in Mexico for their entertainment. They go to San Diego, 100 miles away, or Palm Springs, 60 miles away, or Yuma, Arizona, 60 miles away, for different entertainments and medical, and um, the so where does money come back in? And agriculture can only do so much. Um, and then there's a migrant labor force. People crossing the border, work in the fields. They go back home and spend their money back home. So there's certain issues like that which yeah, it just undermines and sort of uh, it challenges the economics of Imperial County. What can people do? How can people work to improve the situation there? What sort of infrastructure and support networks are available? So that's the thing, that any outside investment, outside people come in, they provide that. That's what is needed. It's all these, the little intricacies, the little um, corners of the community that the government can't quite fill, the churches can't quite fill, uh, whatever infrastructure of the United States system can't quite fill, or is unable to fill because of we lack the Imperial County lacks population, lacks the political money influence, um, so it's sort of bottom of the list in terms of a lot of things like what can be done or what needs to be done, and um, these different problems that can compound and yet be solved with a couple simple ideas and issues, or just small investments here and there. So, and I apologize for just being all over the place, because Imperial County, it can be a complicated issue. You can try to address one thing, but one thing it's connected to about two others or three others in some cases, and scattershot. Unfortunately, it seems to be the solution. Try to address one thing and that'll help about three others. Or address several and you take care of several dozen other problems that they're solved. And yeah, it's fascinating. It's interesting, um, and I'm surprised that California is not able to do more. Is not able to sort of hold up Imperial County and say, we're looking at this area and seeing that it ranks low in these different areas. So what can be done to bring it up? What can be done to help and provide and promote? Um, yeah, I mean, I almost think that maybe the political system is kind of working against Imperial County as well, because of if you're part of one political team or another, that's great. You're that extra vote, but then it becomes like, well, so what about the needs of my constituents? And it's like, well, we'll get to you in a bit, because it's the people who have more money in this other area that they should be addressed first. Um, so, uh, yeah, the challenges of the U.S. political system and Imperial County. So, um, it does seem like a microcosm of what's going on with the U.S. Definitely the U.S. and the Mexican border in some cases, but yeah, just these different issues that need to be addressed, and more focus needs to be brought there. Um, when I heard about Van Jones and his green collar economy, I was very fascinated and have been communicating with him, and I was hoping that uh, when he was in the White House, that that was one of he could come to Imperial County and help address some issues, and you know since he's on CNN with the show now, I'm also hoping that Jorge Ramos, other news commentators, um, since it's like a 4-hour drive from Los Angeles, come on down to Imperial County and pick a project, pick an area, look at a thing, and try to provide the analysis, extrapolate to show what's going on in the larger picture of the United States, and say, okay, can this be addressed? Can this be worked on, fixed? What are the resources? What are people doing around the country, around the world, that can be done here, to fix and address these issues? Like every issue you're seeing in the world, you can find an example of it in Imperial County. And there's the people, there's the resources, there's definitely the land that can be utilized to address those issues. And Imperial County can be the experiment in a lot of cases for solving these whatever problem, and then use that as a springboard for addressing the problem elsewhere. So one of the factors is the example of solar fields. You know, farmland that would require basically resources to irrigate has been turned over to solar fields, and so as a result, back when gas was cheap and didn't take much to pump water to irrigate a field, so now you can irrigate, or now you turn that land into solar because the infrastructure is there. The roads to access the population to work on the place, and also access to the power grid. It's right there nearby. So there's little things here and there that can be done, and yeah, I'm hoping that overall, when a business is deciding, do we go to Imperial County, do we invest? Yes, you can find the negatives. Yes, you can find challenges, but you can find those anywhere. And the thing is that you will find support. You will find a very enthusiastic population that will want investment, want business brought in, want opportunities brought in, and because there is this all these opportunities present, that can allow any company the ability to say, we were able to move the metrics. We were able to provide something that did change, did lead, did increase, did improve. So, that positive press that can help your company, that can be there. That's available. So, some different ideas.